Commercial breakers, streamers, everybody out there in America, welcome to your only show ever created about commercials and pop culture, everything that's nuts going on in our world. We talk about here at thestream.tv. My name's Rebecca Michael. I'm here with Mike Beatrice in the chat room. And our wonderful guest tonight is Mr. Jon Huck from the Capital One ads.
Bye.
Jon in the house tonight.
Hello.
John is also a stand-up comedian. He is an actor. And he recently shot an episode of Live at Gotham. So we'll be talking about that tonight as well. If you guys don't know what Live at Gotham is, it is a special on Comedy Central that showcases the best comedians in the country, which Jon is now a part of the club, which is very exciting. Mikey, what's going on in the chat?
Oh my goodness, some quick shout outs.
Okay.
We have Anastasia Fall, Tumor 20 Vegs, website guy is me, so that's not really a shout out. Aliens 300, Assassin 70, Baseball, Gabbett the Blue, Her 209, Lufer. We have a lot of new people tonight. Names I've never seen before. I do recognize Rapid Penguin Monger. Right now, and Whimsy. I love Whimsy. That's a great name. We are now amassing adjectives. I think we have most of them, but if anybody wants to chime in and get a better adjective, we can make that happen.
Okay.
And they're all chiming in about my Patriots t-shirt, but we don't really need to explore that right now because I believe that's a violation of the NFL copyright nonsense.
Oh, really? Because last week you had a Boston Red Sox logo, so...
Yeah, I know, but...
I mean, you've already killed me. I mean, if I ever get...
We're already getting sued. I know that, but it's fine.
If they sue me, they can have my cat. That's about all I have to give people. So,
hey, Rebecca.
What?
I don't know if this is for real, but we have somebody new in the chat room. Robin Michael says,
That's
Mike,
my sister.
Please tell Becky her sister says hi.
Hi, Robin.
That's awesome.
Hi, Robin. Thank you so much for finally watching my show.
It's for real.
I've only had 17 episodes, right, Mike?
I thought it was 16, but I'm not really good at math.
No, we're not counting our pilot at 16, but if we count our pilot at 17, which means in 3 more we'll be at 20, which means we'll be celebrating our 20th episode, and we might have to have Ethan bring in the kiddie pool for that.
Do we have to be in the kiddie pool for that?
You do.
Well, all right. We'll see how that goes.
Awesome. I want to give a quick shout out to Tumor 20. Please find my brain. Timer FX has Drink Moxie. Pantera fan making fun of Tom Brady on my MySpace page. Very funny. Rabid Penguin, Gabbeth the Blue, Starliner, a dork. Is that what that's short for? And I can't read this one, but it begins with a B. Brian something and Senor Shutter. How are you, Senor? How are you? Great, you guys. Before we move on, we really need to talk about David Letterman because Mike is dying. Mike, what were your comments? What did you want to say?
It was amazing. I mean, I think it's one of those weird things where you're not surprised. You're like, oh, Letterman did that? That sort of makes sense. But what was really cool is that he got out in front of it. And, you know, we see sports celebrities and political, celebrities, and they all like use guarded language. Letterman came out. He said, look, here's what I did. I did it. He didn't mince words. He just admitted to it, owned up to it. And it might be bad for him. He might lose his job. He might...
I don't think he's going to lose his job.
I don't know.
I don't think it's going to be bad for him. I think he diffused the issue right off the top. And now I think in a couple days it'll be old news and nobody's going to care. I mean, we all know that a lot of these guys cheat on their wives, and I don't know if that's the case in this situation. If he did this years ago when they've been dating forever. I mean, obviously this is like he's been with other women while they've been dating, or what, they haven't been married that long, so who knows. But I think it was best for him to just come clean. Brian, what do you think? You got any comments? I figured you'd be piping in, but no.
Well, I'm not really operating the show, but I'll lean in. And,
there's Johnny Damon, you guys. Yeah. There's Johnny Damon.
Who? Hey, dudes and girls get together like all the time. I don't know why people are continuously shocked that this happens. Like, you grow up your whole life watching soap operas and movies and hearing things and Jerry Springer, and then all of a sudden you get cheated on or you cheat on someone, and it's like total shock. Hello?
I don't think it's a shock to people. I think it's just like he's not that. We didn't realize he had all that.
He is rich.
I know. That's all it takes, right?
He makes $40 million a year.
He's stinking rich, and he's funny. And like most girls require not even half that.
Hey, listen, my dream guy is Steve Martin. So that pretty much
Call him.
is,
That's a coincidence because my dream guy is Steve Martin.
All right, we could talk about this for the rest of the night, but really we have more important things to get to. 'Cause Jon Huck is here, okay?
Hey.
After a long summer on the road as a comedian. He's got some funny stories about that because he goes to the scariest places. He and I were talking before the show, and he's like, some of these places I would never let a female comedian go into because they're that scary. But he has a very interesting life, and he also does commercials. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at his first clip here so that we can talk about some things to do with this ad that we all saw several times this year. It's the Capital One cheeseburger ad.
He's online! Oh no, we can call for help! What are you doing?
Filling my own Capital One credit card. I'll go with airline miles and a low interest rate. We have internet access? I'll upload a photo. There we go. I was full for 3 days. Cheeseburger! Cheeseburger!
Personalize your card at Capital One Card Lab. Choose your rewards, interest rate, even upload your own image at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
That's so cute. I don't remember that part where you're in the inner tube at the end until I saw that now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you got to be like the guy with the best line in that group.
Yeah, it worked out to my advantage, I guess. Yeah.
Now, how did you guys plan that out? Because whenever there's these group, just so you guys know, the audience, whenever there's these group commercials, sometimes the actors are fighting for lines. So tell us about that.
Well, I think, excuse me, I think the guy in the chair, his name's Brendan, who connects the plug thing, I think he was supposed to say what's in your wallet. And they were actually going to go with a skinnier, more like emaciated person for my part. And then when they saw me, they were like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if the fat guy like ate all the food? And so they ended up giving me the line because in the audition they had said, hey, can you say what's in your wallet like really kind of like you're insane? And I was like, and they were looking for like a description, and I just went like, oh, like I've been on acid for 5 days? And they're like, yes. And I was like, okay.
And you're like, I don't know anything about that, but I'll try to tap into that as much as
I'll tap
possible.
into it. I'll tap into it.
Well, that's great, because that ad actually, is it still running? Because I feel like I've seen it recently. It was on for a while.
It was on for a while. I don't think it's still running anymore. They've moved on to their Viking.
Oh, their Viking.
Campaign,
they go back
yeah.
and forth between that and other ads. They've been doing the Viking thing for a long time. Now, you shot that where?
That was in 20 minutes outside of Cancun.
Wow.
I want to say Playa del Carmen.
How nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
How long did you guys get to go for?
I think we were there we were there 4 days, flew in, wardrobe fitting, then shot the next day, and then flew out the next day.
So you didn't get a lot of R&R, but...
Well, the second day of shooting was only about 8 hours, so we really did get some partying in. It was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we stayed at a resort, and it was nice.
Mikey, what's going on? Is my sister blowing up the chat room or what?
No, your sister's kind of backed off. I think she needs to get back in here.
They probably freaked her out because she's not used to this stuff.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
Oh, she needs to get back in here.
The highest celebrity
Where does she live?
She's in Florida.
Oh, you need to fly out and be a guest on the chat room. You need to be here on the chat desk with me, Rebecca's sister.
Yeah. Well,
real quick, her 209 is amazed that Dave Letterman can even still get it up, and we're not going to go there.
Jeez.
I know, it's horrible. And then Pantera fan, I wanted to thank you for coming back over to Justin TV because you were wasting your talents over in Stickham. And then Toomer posted actually Jon Huck's IMDb page. So please go check that out, review all the credits. Although I actually checked out your IMDb page today, and I got confused because there's also a Jon Huck that does sound editing, and clearly that's not you. You won't be confused by that.
And actually what happened is they somehow combined both of our IMDb pages together. So it'll say like sound design for Matrix 3 and PA on the Jamie Kennedy experiment and sound design for this movie. And so it's not, my IMDb page is all messed up with somebody else's.
And it's hard. It's actually, once your IMDb is screwed up, it's hard to get it fixed.
Yeah, I don't know who to talk to. I've tried calling there. I've had other people call. I don't know how to get a hold of anybody.
They're screwy, and then when you make updates, it takes forever, and they make it very difficult. So you were a PA with Jamie Kennedy. Tell us about that real quick before we hit another clip.
I actually started in the production business as a production assistant. Yeah, my buddy got me a job driving vans and trucks for the U.S. Comedy Arts Festival for HBO in Aspen. And then, I got production work on some really bad reality stuff, and then finally landed on Jamie Kennedy Experiment.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really fun, actually.
That was a fun show. Everyone loved that show.
It was a good time.
All right, so you guys, this is his second Capital One ad, and Capital One normally doesn't reuse people, but they like Jon so much, they put him in this one, but you won't know it's him, but you can keep an eye out for this one. This one's newer.
We gotta get out of here. Don't rush me. I'm at Capital One Card Lab. With these new triple rewards, it's tough to decide which category to choose. Maybe travel? What do you think? Home improvement?
How about gas and groceries? Oh, restaurants! I know a great chop house.
Introducing triple rewards of your choice. Log on to CardLab at CapitalOne.com to personalize your card.
T-Bone is to die for.
What's in your wallet?
I love that commercial, but really quick, my sister is killing me in the chat room over here. She's like, Jamie Kennedy is dating Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like,
They are.
they are.
They're
Thank you.
very serious.
Thank you, Robin, for reading your People magazine. And she also is. What is she saying to you, Mike? What is going on over there?
I have a question. Does
What?
your sister also look like Jenna Hayes?
She looks like a short, petite version of Jenna Hayes. Yes.
Interesting.
So, but enough about that. It's really about John's ad. So you have to tell me, how long were you in makeup? Because that is like a ta-da.
Yeah, for that, I shaved and then cut my hair, and they did, you've ever seen Thriller?
Yeah.
When they pour the mold over Michael Jackson's face. They had to put a mold over my face.
No.
Which wasn't really that bad. It wasn't straws that they had me breathing out of. They just left a kind of a hole so I could breathe out of my nose. But that took about an hour and a half. And then from that mold, they made the mask, which was then applied. It took about 2 hours the first day to put, they glued my face and then they slapped on the mask and it connects in two pieces.
Gosh.
And then they added like some of the zipper stuff and then they had to paint on top of the mask. So it was a while. The production people all came in and they're like, oh, now you know how Jim Carrey feels. And like when he did The Grinch, and I'm like, yeah, except I'm not getting $20 million for this, so I really don't know how he feels.
Yeah, that's crazy, crazy makeup. So that took several hours, and then from that you had to go into shooting. And
Yeah.
how long does that take? How long of a day is that for you?
Well, we shot about, I would say like 10 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like that all day, but I wasn't necessarily in every scene. I had to drink my lunch through a straw because I couldn't take the thing off. And then at the end of the day, they had to cut it, and the next day put a new one on, which took another 2 hours.
So how many days total?
2 days. 2 days.
And did you like sweat to death under there? Were you just like, ugh?
Yeah, they had me in like a ripped snowsuit, like a snowmobile suit too, plus like huge boots. And it was pretty warm. Yeah, I think also there were fires in the area, so it was
Did
even
they shoot
warmer.
that on the lot?
They shot that on like a reserve lot, like maybe it was Stevenson's Ranch. They shoot a lot of stuff up there. Maybe it was the Disney Ranch. Maybe that's what
okay.
it was. It was the Disney Ranch.
Oh,
They were
okay.
shooting like Bones and a couple other things on there too.
Yeah, it's the magical mystery of how we shoot things here in Los Angeles, you guys. It's all smoke and mirrors. You think we're somewhere out in the woods, and we're up in Stevenson's Ranch outside of LA, which is really just a nice name for a cute little suburb. So, Mikey, I got to throw to you because I'm sure you got a lot to say over there.
I have plenty to say, but we have a question from Assassin70. John, what is your goal? To get a movie career or to get a long-lasting running sitcom?
That is an interesting question, I guess. I didn't really start the whole thing with a goal. I kind of accidentally started doing stand-up comedy, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. Commercials are a great way to make money, and yeah, sure, I'd like to get into movies. Absolutely, I think the more people you can reach and the more people you can entertain, that's the goal, is to get wherever. So TV, movies, yeah, I'm a huge TV guy. I watch a ton of TV.
Do you think you'll always do stand-up?
I would like to think so, yeah. I'd like to think that no matter what happens, I'll still want to go on stage because that's a lot of fun.
I was reading in your bio on your MySpace, you said you were really terrible when you first started, which
yeah.
everybody is.
Nobody is good when they first start, but I was pretty bad.
But you just kind of kept going back and sticking with it.
Well, what I had was the first time I tried to go out and do it, I got really drunk and I heckled the comics and I got kicked out.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful. My buddy was like, I woke up the next day like, hey, did I go on? He goes, you're a jerk. I was like, oh, okay. And then the time I first went on stage, I got one compliment, which was like, "Hey, how long have you been doing this?" And I was like, "This is my first time." "Wow, you're really good." And from there, I was like, "Yeah, I am really good."
Yeah.
And then I got booked onto a regular show, and I tanked it. So
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I need some work.
And then you go through all those peaks and valleys where you think you're really good, and then you go and do something and you're
Yeah.
not so good,
Yeah.
and or you get thrown in a group that everyone's been doing it for 10 years, and all of a sudden you're the weak link. And yeah, the story
Yeah.
of my life. Okay, so that's really good, you guys. Keep the questions coming. This one is a European commercial that was shot overseas, and we're going to get into that. It's called Sonic.
I don't know, man. Bathroom's a little tiny, huh? Oh, dude, it is hot in here, man. Whew. Did the drink cart come by when I was... I don't really, think where they come by like one time. I mean, I could use another drink. It's not like I want to... Wasn't sure. Didn't know. I didn't know for sure. I didn't know that it could be this good until you came into my life. I didn't know, or I didn't know. I didn't know, I didn't know my name. I didn't know my name. I wasn't sure. I didn't.
I need that spray. Robin, you need that spray, because Barry, you need that spray, because we all, well, I don't smoke, but you guys do. But in America, we need that spray because they don't have it here, right, John?
No, they don't sell it here. They only sell it, I think, in the Netherlands, or I think that's it. And I know they did billboards and stuff too. There was like magazine ads for that. Like they went crazy.
Because the Europeans get everything. See, we're not allowed to have anything. We don't get to have a Fedra.
Well, you can't have that spray because people would stop smoking. And if you stop smoking, then
Nobody would,
cigarette companies go out of business.
And they rule, the cigarette companies and the pharmaceutical companies rule everything. They decide everything. This is a political show.
It's
In
pretty
case you
close
guys
to it,
didn't
though.
know. This is a political show. Mike, I'm sorry. I see you over there.
So, don't be sorry.
not
First of all,
ignoring you.
and John, you have to understand, the people that watch this show always like to equate our guests to
Someone
actual
famous.
other celebrities.
I can tell you the list of people they're comparing me to right now.
Let's start.
Okay.
Chris Elliott.
Yes, that was the first and only one so far.
Oh, really? You're gonna get? I've gotten Tom Green, Brian Posehn, Chris Kamen, who plays for the Clippers.
Yes,
What?
that's a good one, Chris Kamen, which also means
That's a good one. The guy looks like a Neanderthal. Thank you.
which also means Tom Petty. If you're Chris
Yeah,
Kamen.
I've gotten Tom Petty. Yeah,
There you go.
because my hair is a little bit longer. I've definitely gotten Tom Petty. Then I got some weird ones. Daniel Stern, I got once, which was I thought.
Wow,
odd.
that's
I
crazy.
can see that.
Yeah. There was another really strange one that I think it was Brad Pitt. No, I don't know.
Well, at least
Chris
you
Elliott was the one I was getting.
Yeah,
by
I
the way.
get that. I get that like once a day from somebody. That was the first time today. Thank you.
Also, everybody is really in love, presuming it's correct. It's a Motorhead T-shirt.
It is a Motorhead T-shirt.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's because Motorhead's a great band.
they love
There
stuff
you go.
like that.
October 9th, Motorhead Reverend Horton Heat, Nokia Club. Booyah.
Good plug. I'm glad you're plugging
It's
bands
my plug
and not
is,
yourself.
Me and my brother are going to be there, probably drunk, so check it out. It'll be awesome.
John Huck gets drunk a lot.
Not anymore.
Not anymore?
No.
Okay, he's cleaned up his act.
Oh, yeah.
John, at least you're not being compared to a porn star like I am constantly. They all think I look like Jenna Hayes.
Yeah, but you don't really.
Thank you, John.
I'm
Major
just saying,
points.
I don't know her personally, but I am very familiar with Jenna Hayes. And, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
It's not a bad... It's not like they're like, God, you look at disgusting.
Well,
pig."
Owen Smith was like, well, if it can get us to the front of a line at some clubs, I don't think it's such a bad thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so you guys, more questions on Sonic because that was shot where? It was shot in Europe.
They shot it, and we shot that in Prague.
Okay. And how long did you get to hang out in Prague? Because that's an awesome place.
It was amazing. I went there actually right after college for a little bit, but then going back for free was obviously better. But we flew, it was like a 15 hours on a plane. We landed. I didn't have to work the next day, so I went out and got really drunk with the other guy that was in that scene with me, Eric. And we then hung out. I didn't wake up till 7 o'clock at night the next night.
Oh
and then we walked around, and then we had to shoot the next day 15 hours on a plane, like on a fake plane set in this huge warehouse, like cramped on a plane, and then the very next day had to fly home 15 hours on a plane sitting next to the same guy. As soon as I got to my seat, he, like on the real flight home, I got to my seat and he just looked at me, he's like, oh dude, please. And I'm like, don't worry, I'm not going to talk to you, don't worry. And I just passed out. But yeah, it was a long day of shooting. The first half was really fun because it was just simple. Like they wanted me to make up lyrics. We did 2 takes of everything because they bought the rights to La Bamba, because that was what I auditioned with, and they thought that was really funny. Because I thought it was the most annoying song you could sing on a plane, you know what I mean? Like, La Bamba, hey, Richie Valens, he died in a plane crash. Like, don't sing that near me. So that's what I think got me the spot. Then they bought the rights to that song, so I did 1 take doing all La Bamba and then 1 take making up random lyrics that they also loved. And the first half of the day was all that, and the second half was the stunt, and that was terrifying, so that was less enjoyable, but still an experience.
Now, was that one of your first commercials, or was that like a SAG thing or an overseas thing? Like, how does that work?
This is what they said when I asked them why they, like, I looked at one of the producers, I was like, you're telling me you couldn't find someone in Europe anywhere that looked like this? And he said a really nice thing at first, which was, we use American actors because they take it seriously. It's their job, they want to make money, and they'll do as they're directed. They'll make the people around them happy by doing what's needed. And I was like, yeah, that's true, that's true. And then he says, also, if this goes nationwide over here, we don't have to pay you residuals.
Oh my gosh.
I see.
You're like, way to stick it to me.
Yeah, so we flew regular class over there, whereas when we went to Mexico, that was SAG. Capital One was SAG, and they put you first class.
First class, so nice.
Yeah, this was like you're cattled in there with like 7 other people on this huge plane.
Mike, I'm sure they have a lot of questions with everything that came up.
Oh, they totally do.
Yeah, they love stuff like this. I knew they would.
First of all, this is the weirdest I think we've ever gotten. Senor Shutter thinks that, I have no idea who this is, John. Senor Shutter thinks you look like the English actor Charles Dance, who played the bad guy in Last Action Hero.
Okay, that's definitely the first time I've ever heard that. Is that the guy with the eye? I
don't know. I would need to pull it up.
The contact? Because I haven't seen Last Action Hero in like, I don't know, since it came out probably. But.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
And then we have people chiming in that you do. Pantera fan says you totally look like him.
Yeah.
And then we're getting some really good questions. They're coming fast and furious. First of all, Rebecca, Drink Moxie is asking your sister if she has any embarrassing stories about you.
She better keep her
Robin
mouth
says
shut.
she does. There are too many, but your parents might be watching.
They'll come out in a book.
And then we have 2 people, Tumor20 and UMY 3-itch, that think, John, that you look like the Burger King king. Which is not bad.
The guy with the lady hands?
That's a
who's
good
like really
campaign.
dainty? Wow, thank you. I look like the Burger King king.
Oh, that's the best thing I've ever heard on Commercial Break.
That's pretty funny.
And now, I actually have a real question. Drink Moxie wants to know, John, and I'm not sure where they're getting this, but is the fee different for commercials that you do in Europe rather than America?
Yeah.
It was technically, I believe, some kind of a union. So the fee, well, the difference was for the
Is it
Zonic
like a buyout
one,
or something?
It was
they just buy
basically
you
a buyout.
out.
Yeah,
they give you a bunch of money up front.
You take all the money up front, and then you get a free trip to Prague, and you're there for like 3-4 days, and that's pretty much it. And then I actually did get a phone call from them to do. The company was handing out cell phone rings as gifts, and they wanted to use my voice as one of the rings. So they gave me an additional fee to do that, and I made a little bit more money on the print stuff. Like I think they did billboards and a lot of magazines.
Yeah, you have. If you guys go online, you'll find the print ad. It's hysterical.
But yeah, so the fee was less. It was less than you would make doing, say, like a national spot for Capital One, and that's the same. It's always going to be different whether it's Europe or wherever. But if it's not nationwide and it's not running on everything, it's not, you're not, like, just because you do 6 commercials doesn't mean you're going to have any money to show for it at the end of the year.
Exactly. Commercials have changed so much, too.
Yeah,
They don't run them as long as they used to, or
there's a lot quicker turnover. People's attention spans aren't you know what I mean? They're just like, all right, we've seen that one, move on. What's the next one? What do you got?
And then the TiVoing.
Yeah, and people, that's why I love it when I know ads are running, because people in the Midwest that I know will be like, hey, I saw your ad, because they don't have DVR boxes or TiVos or.
Yeah.
They're just like.
I never realized how many people don't. Like, my parents don't. I don't know how they live without it. And
I can't even fathom not being able to watch TV whenever I want.
yeah, and there's so many shows I like to watch, and especially as a comedian, like, you always want to be up to date with what's going on, and I always watch all these things that are really just dumb TV too, in addition, so I can make fun of them later on stage.
Absolutely.
Or I'm in the know.
It's research.
It's research, and I write it all off on my taxes too.
You can.
Watching the Kardashians is a tax write-off.
Good Lord.
Train wreck. But I can't imagine living without that. Like, last night I missed The Office and Grey's Anatomy, so tonight when I go home,
You can watch them.
now I can watch them. Yeah. All right, Mike, one more question before we hit the next commercial.
Well, first of all, your sister has chimed in yet again, and the woman that you look like is Claire Forlani from Joe Black.
Oh,
Meet
she's
Joe
so
Black.
sweet. I do get that a lot too.
Do you
but
really?
I've gotten that in the chat room before.
Interesting. And
Oh,
then,
is that the girl from Mallrats?
Is Claire
I
Forlani?
have no idea. Someone else needs
She's
to
in
confirm that.
Basquiat, Meet Joe Black. She's in a lot of TV stuff now. I don't know what's happened to her career, but she was like the hot thing for a while, and then.
And then, real quick, Senor Shutter posted the guy from Last Action Hero, and I totally get it now.
Okay.
I've got it up here in a window if you want to see it.
Oh my gosh! I wish Brian could get that on
It's a little
screen.
That guy's a little more debonair than I am.
A
I
little
think.
bit, and he's got one red eye, but
Yeah, but that's
You
the
do
thing in
look
the
like
movie.
him.
That's
I can
not
totally
real.
see it.
He doesn't like leave
You
and then
do
have
look
that.
like him. That's creepy.
I'm a bad guy. I'm a villain.
Scary.
Good villain.
All right, you guys, let's go ahead and take a look. This is a commercial for Boost Mobile, your affordable mobile carrier.
Oh.
I was just joking. We pulled up a picture.
What? You think this is wrong? This is a breakfast burrito with chorizo. I'll tell you what's wrong. Cell phone companies charging hidden fees. That's why I got Boost Mobile. Their $50 monthly unlimited plan, it has no hidden fees.
$50 unlimited nationwide talk, text, web, and walkie-talkie. Unoveraged, uncontracted, unwronged. Boost Mobile.
Now, wait, why does the Zonic come up at the end of the Boost Mobile? Is that this?
No, that was Boost Mobile, it said, didn't it?
Yeah, it said Boost Mobile and then Zonic came up. Oh, that was part of your reel, probably. It was like an old clip.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah. So Boost Mobile's very popular now. I see a lot of commercials for them. In that campaign, I always see like something new they're doing. That looked like it was fun.
That was fun. That was shot in an actual working morgue
Oh.
in LA County. Downtown.
Creepy.
Yeah, it was pretty creepy. We had to stop halfway through because they were bringing in a real dead body. They're like, hey, you guys got to clear out for a little bit. I was like, oh, why? They're like, oh, we're bringing in a dead body. I was like, okay. And then we like went outside and they shoved it in the freezer and we came back in.
I was a criminal justice major for like 2 seconds my sophomore year of college, and I took this class where we had to visit a morgue and look at a body that had been murdered the night before, and that pretty much changed my major. I was like, I don't think I really want to do this anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
Not for me. Not for me. So you got to kind of create a character there too. Was that something you did on the audition, or was it something they kind of came up with later?
You know, that I almost didn't even go to that audition because I read that my agent called me with it and I was like, I looked at, they're like, well, yeah, they want a doctor type. And I was like, what are you talking about? I am not a doctor. Like, and I went in there and everyone in there is like gray haired, glasses, really distinguished, well kept, if you will. And I was like, why am I even here? Like, I went in there just like I had a tie on, and everyone else had lab coats. So I was like, well, I'm clearly not going to get this. So I went in and I just read for it. And I think the director really liked me, I think is what happened, because he used me again eventually. And
Well, you're more like a mad scientist.
yeah, and I don't know, I don't know, but I'm almost to the point where I wouldn't have cast myself in that spot, having read the spot. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's the thing. Sometimes I don't think they really know what they want until the person walks in that they gravitate to. Because I've been on auditions before where they totally wanted my type, and then I see the commercial and they go with completely different ethnicity, everything's different
Yeah.
than the breakdown.
I think that's a big, when I get brought in for stuff, I think that I sometimes am that guy that is the different looking one. Like, hey, we want somebody, short guy, thin, brown hair, you know what I mean, green eyes, whatever. They have a look they want, but then they're like, now bring in a couple of weirdos too and see what that looks like. And they're like, oh, you know what? The weirdo actually, his red beard is colorful, or whatever it is, whatever insane thing catches their eye.
They like people who stand out. Mike, go ahead. Mike.
Aliens 300 wants to know if in that commercial that you adhere to the 3-second rule, where if it's on the floor or in a corpse, you can pick it up in 3 seconds and it's fine. Then recently, a couple weeks, I forget who it was, but in one of the recent shows, we discovered that like food commercials had a spit bucket. Did you have a spit bucket for the corpse burrito?
I did. I did have a spit bucket because at first they told me I wasn't going to have to take a bite because they want me to drop it into this open wound on this fake dead body, which, by the way, that body was in 6 feet under. I don't know.
Same body?
Yeah, same
Cool.
body. Got cut in half by an elevator.
Good trivia. Good trivia.
Yeah.
We like that.
So, they're like, oh, you drop it in, there's all this goop and like food coloring and stuff in there. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to have to eat this, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, no, you're good. So then we do it when we do the whole thing where I'm like almost to my mouth. I'm like, what, you think this is wrong? And then they were, okay, we're going to do one where you take a bite and you chew it when you talk through the entire ad while you're chewing the burrito. I was like, okay, but just one, right? And they're like, yeah, like 42 takes later, I filled up like half a huge tin bucket. I'm just like taking a bite and then like talking and then spitting it out. But my natural reaction is when I have food in my mouth is to eat it. So I ate more burrito than I spit out. I probably went through like 5 or 6 of those things.
We have talked about the spit bucket many a times, and there's always a poor little production assistant that has to take care of the spit bucket or hold the spit bucket. If you were going to be here at the stream.tv, who do you think should hold the spit bucket?
If I was going to be here?
Yeah, like if you were hanging out with us and we had to shoot something, and I think Mike should.
What?
Well, Mike's kind of busy.
A little busy.
With the internet.
I'm busy.
You're busy hosting.
I think Chris Frangiola should come back and hold this.
You know what? I'll go with that. I will say
Chris.
that Frangiola should definitely come back. Hold the spit bucket around his neck, and just people get really close to him, and then spit into it, and he gets some stuck in his stubble.
Frangiola probably has a spit bucket on Chelsea lately, like for his gum. He probably has like some little intern like running every 5 seconds, bringing him a spit bucket. Bazball, are you upset? Are you upset we're talking about your boyfriend?
Oh, someone loves Chris Frangiola?
I think Chris does worse on Chelsea lately.
He does what?
It's a whole different bucket on Chelsea lately.
Oh, yeah. So, like it's a gold bucket.
Sure.
Gold.
We'll go with that.
I just want to remind Chris Frangiola, if he ever watches this, you promised me Khloe Kardashian as a guest. I'm going to hold you to it. All right, so because we're running out of time, we definitely want to show Jon Huck's stand-up. Now, the quality on this isn't fantastic because whenever us poor little stand-ups work our butts off and go on stage, nobody seems to shoot us well.
Terrible.
Club owners don't seem to care about us. The sound's always off. The image is always bad. But Jon has a website, and we'll get to all that later on, where you can watch all these clips if you want to watch more of his funniness.
But the stream loves you. The stream loves making your sound good.
Thank you.
Nice.
And I just want to thank the stream for microphones in the sky because it's so much nicer than to have Jared trying to put a lavalier mic up my shirt, which is awkward.
But not me, right? You missed that, right?
What?
You miss me doing it, though, right?
I do miss you doing it.
Right.
I really miss Hogan.
Yeah, everyone misses Hogan. He's here on Monday nights now, though. Sorry.
I know. All right, so we're going to take a look at Jon Huck's stand-up, the first 50 seconds, if we can go ahead and take a look here.
Dave, everybody. How you doing? Get over it, people. I'm feeling really good about myself. I recently lost about 35 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. And a buddy of mine suggested, hey, you had a really unique way of losing that weight. You should write a diet book. So I did, and it's going to come out next week. Everyone will be able to buy it. The diet book's going to be called Cocaine and Depression. How to Cry Yourself Thin. And if you get it when it first comes out, it comes with an ex-girlfriend and an 8-ball starter kit. It's a pretty sweet deal, if you ask me. I am, of course, kidding. I make a lot of cocaine jokes because I used to do a lot of cocaine this morning. And now I'm just sweaty and confused.
Good job. It's not easy, folks. It's not easy to come up with material, and all that's probably very true. John, you want to tell everyone about your fake ad that you did?
Oh yeah, I did. From that joke, me and my buddy Patrick shot a infomercial that I think I have. It's on YouTube and stuff, but it's a new diet book for the cocaine and depression. How to cry yourself thin. It's really informative, and it's a great way to lose weight, and you should definitely check it out. And send me $25, and I probably won't send anything back.
I might want to try that diet. I've been trying to lose weight. Mike?
Yeah, it works.
Mike, we should go on that diet together and see what
We
happens.
really should.
We really should. I see that my sister has revealed my childhood nickname that my mom gave me.
Did she? I didn't.
Robin calls me Boo Boo, but my mom calls me Boo.
Ooh.
And that comes from To Kill a Mockingbird. The slow guy. That was his name. So isn't that a horrible childhood nickname? My mom calls me the Little Boo. So yeah, just so in case you guys. Thanks for Robin. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to out me for, Robin? Because
I think Boo Boo's gonna stick.
Boo Boo's gonna stick for
Oh,
probably
yeah.
the next 20 episodes, thanks to my sister. Hey Robin, anytime you want to donate to the show, we do take donations on the main page since you're the big breadwinner in the Michael family. Guys, how's Sell This coming? Are you coming up with adjectives?
We have them. We're good.
Okay, good.
You want them now?
Yeah, let's
right.
do this.
All right. In no order whatsoever, Rapid Penguin Monger came up with grotesque. What are we selling, by the way? I know now.
We
Okay,
can't
actually, this
tell.
would be great. Grotesque. We have that. Tumor came up with mystical. Her 209, zombified.
Okay.
Drink Moxie came up with explosive. Senor Shutter came up with scruffy. And then Vegs came up with immense.
How many are you doing?
6.
We're gonna do
I guess.
6, and but before we get to that, really quick, I do want to before we do Sell This, I do want to give John recognition. He did shoot Comedy Central's Live at Gotham, and that's going to be out when?
That airs December 4th. It's a Friday night at like 11 o'clock on Comedy Central.
Okay, so how do they shoot that? You just go into Gotham and do your set, or is it something you do several times?
No, you don't do it several times. You only do it once. They bring in, they put so many comics onto a show. They have usually a celebrity host, and then they fill that place with an audience that's ready to laugh, and they have cameras in there, and then the club is only used for that show at that time.
Oh, that's so cool. And it's like packed out, good audience.
Yeah, it's kind of a smaller club. They're kind of right up on you. So yeah, it was pretty crowded.
Did you feel like you had a good set and it's gonna be good for your reel and all that?
I hope so. Obviously, you want to do well your first time on Comedy Central, but I think it was good. I just, they edit it however they want. I do 10 minutes, they edit it down to like 5 or 6.
They pick what they want,
so
yeah.
It could be really odd. Then I've known them to move jokes around too. So, like I have a set order I do it in, and they could change that, which would make things a little bit awkward. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I have friends that did the half hours, and I noticed there was a lot of
that
going on.
They'll take
a lot of
like
editing
an
and stand up.
And put it in the middle. It's
kind of weird.
Insane.
It changes the rhythm. Okay, so you guys, we are going to sell something really funny tonight.
Can I say,
sure. You say whatever you want.
I want to say happy birthday to my cousin Amanda.
Oh, happy birthday, Amanda, wherever you are. Hopefully you're watching or you'll watch us on demand.
I told her I wouldn't know if she was watching, so I would have to say it regardless. But
And we're going to get to all your website stuff before we close out the show. But you guys have given us amazing words: grotesque, mystical, zombified, explosive, scruffy, immense. And tonight we're selling Newsweek's Is Your Baby Racist? Take it away, Jon Huck, whenever you're ready.
Oh, I have to sell it immediately. This is it, huh?
Oh,
okay.
This is, okay, here it is. I'm the casting director, and I'm casting a commercial for Newsweek, and you have to use, I want you to use the following words and improv a commercial audition for us. Whenever you're ready, take a moment if you need your moment before.
Well, it's gonna go something like this. Or, it's gonna start like this. It'll start out of frame. And I'm gonna say, what was I going to use first? Are you tired of zombified babies and their explosive diarrhea? Try this immense, mystical, racist baby from Newsweek with extreme Hitler mustache. Whose address is this? It's grotesque enough to be mystical. He's got an immense head. Buy it.
Oh, you did that so well and fast. Most people like get so confused and rambled. You had a great prop.
Which is,
that was a
I
great
had
prop.
a great prop, but I will say this. I think that's the leg up anybody has in the commercial world is like common sense.
Yeah.
When you read, oh, this is how the commercial's supposed to read, and then I've just watched groups of people stand around, I don't understand this. I don't understand. Finally, the casting guy comes out and goes, all right, here's the deal, everybody. You stand there, you try some pizza, it's good, don't say it tastes bad, smile, and that's it. And everyone's like,
It's
wait a
true.
minute, what do we do? And that's how you go in there, and you're like, yeah, I get it. I'm not a simpleton. I'm not the village idiot. I can read. So you go in there, and they're like, oh, we like this guy. He knows what he's doing.
No, it's so true, and they do get really testy like that because they've been doing it all day, and
It's
they
annoying.
treat us like we're the biggest idiots
Because
ever because they're
most
so
of them
over
are. Most of them
actors.
are.
Yeah.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, I went on one a few weeks ago that was like that. People were way overcomplicating it. Mike, couple more questions, and then we're going to give John's info so everyone can hit him up on the IMDb
Okay, real
and
quick.
yada yada.
Senor Shutter's upset because I didn't include Scruffy. I'm sorry. That was an oversight on my
No,
part.
I did. I said Scruffy.
You
He
said
said
Scruffy?
Scruffy.
Oh, then you're not watching Senor Shutter.
Go to the tape, baby. Go
and
to the tape.
clearly
I said
neither was
Scruffy.
I because I was doing administrative stuff. But apparently Scruffy was in there. So, what's up?
Now we're going to go back to the tape.
one more,
find out I
Mikey.
didn't say.
Robin Michael wants to know if John knows Jennifer Aniston.
I do not know Jennifer Aniston, but if you want to give me her phone number, I will call her and introduce myself.
It's actually it came up a couple times from different people, which is weird.
Is there
Something going on? Do we need to know something? John?
to break a story?
I came this close to meeting her when I was working on a TV show for E, but then they wouldn't fly me to Florida where she was, so I never met her.
You know, my sister's a little obsessed with Jennifer. It's one of her favorite celebrities, and
She's great.
I have to say I'm obsessed with her too. We love Jennifer. We feel like if we knew her, we could sit down and have a martini and a cigarette with her.
you'd be
That's
her
how we
friend.
feel.
You'd be her friend.
We feel like we'd be friends with her. That's all. So that was her celebrity obsession oozing out of her mouth. Guys, make sure you go to Jon Huck's MySpace page, which is
Actually, go to my Facebook page.
Facebook.
It's facebook.com/Jon Huck Comedian.
Okay.
And that's also my Twitter, and then you can go from there. From my Facebook, I have like a fan page, and then I just did an independent pilot called Huck that you can get to from there as well.
Also, you guys, you can watch some cute little clips of him on the road with other comedians and how crazy and obnoxious the road can be. And also, if you go into imdb.com, make sure you click on Jon Huck, the actor, and let's run his star meter up.
Well, yeah,
Let's
you can
run it
try
up.
that, but I'm telling you, the IMDb thing needs to be overhauled. It needs a definite change because I'm really combined too much with like two other Jon Hucks, so it's really confusing.
So here's a project for all you streamers out there, the ones that love this kind of stuff. Somebody I know will be able to update that and fix that for John. So if you know how to do that, or
you know how to fix
if
that,
you want to spend the time to
please
fix
get a
that for
hold of
him,
me.
yeah, because I know there's some of you guys who love to do stuff like that. Stick around for the post show. John's going to be here to answer more questions. Mike Beatrice signing off in the chat room from commercial break. I'm Rebecca Michael. Have a wonderful night, and thanks for sticking around.